And hopefully we'll just be able to get started on this next game right away.
Welcome to TeamSpeak, advanced voice communication software for any platform. TeamSpeak allows groups of people to communicate and share information with anyone, via the internet or through private networks. Using your Windows, Mac or Linux-based computer, all you need is a headset with microphone, and in minutes you can be chatting with others in real time, using our crystal clear voice technology.
Alright, welcome to the TeamSpeak Team Liquid StarCraft 2 Open number 7. This is the semifinal match between Root.Drewbie and ZeuS. It is going to be a Terran versus Terran. And our first map, of course, is going to be Metalopolis. So here in the here in the 3 o'clock base, we do have ZeuS as our red Terran here. And at the 6 o'clock base, we do have Root.Drewbie as our blue Terran. Oh, a little bit of a misclick there by ZeuS. Not that big of a deal, but of course it does, slow down your mining a little bit when you make a misclick like that, which is of course just one of the downsides to spamming. But I really can't blame him, as I do enjoy a good spam myself. So Drewbie here dropping down that supply depot, as of course we were expecting to see, since you cannot build a barracks before supply depot anymore. Not that we would really expect to see that in a Terran versus Terran. But it's of course important to note, as it does just remove just a little bit of that early game in the matchup. So just slightly different supply depot placements from each player, but it is good to note, of course, that in this matchup we usually do not see Terran players walling off. You do not want to have those buildings at your ramp. It's just a liability when if you ever get at a unit disadvantage and your opponent starts trying to pressure you up your ramp. They can just do a lot of damage to those buildings. They can set up siege tanks, to kill them with vision from scans, or an SCV walking up or anything like that. So, and there's really not much benefit. You don't have speedlings that are going to run past you or anything. But at this point, pretty much identical builds from both players. Not too much to discuss, but I'm hoping we'll see some really innovative play from both players here. See some really interesting games. So slight difference here. Just looks like Drewbie is just ever so slightly ahead in his build, and of course that can be partially attributed to that misclick that we saw. So as a result, you can see that he's about like 5 seconds ahead on his orbital command. Just really small differences like that usually don't seem like they're going to affect a game, but then every once in a while you do see a game where units like run up the ramp or attack like right before one pivotal unit was about to come out. So things like that can make a difference in StarCraft. That's one of the things that makes it so great. But otherwise, pretty identical builds for both players. We do have the factory started now for both players. And both players still on 1 gas, so probably not going to be seeing... there we do have a second gas now starting for Drewbie. And there it is starting for ZeuS. So absolutely, absolute mirror builds from both players so far, as we do so often see in Terran versus Terran. Both players just continuing to produce those Marines, and we can see very, very similar income levels there. Do have a reactor for Drewbie, however, whereas we do not see that started for ZeuS. So just slight difference there. Drewbie just going to be trying to get out more Marines than his opponent. His opponent now getting a tech lab. I'm assuming that's on... Yes, it is on the factory. We could see a swap with the starport, or he could possibly be going for tanks out of this. Starport now started for Drewbie as well, but he's trying to get out some more Marines in the meantime. Looks like he built that reactor so that he could get out those Marines before he started that starport. So I'm really hoping we'll see some actual use out of those, so it's not a little bit of a waste there. So Hellion's now coming out for Drewbie, who never scouted his opponent. So now he's trying to find which base his opponent is at. Not really needing to scout his opponent, of course, because of the way the build works out with, supply depot into barracks. And there's not that many timings you can abuse. This build has become such a standard that I think most Terrans, of course, just assume that that's the build that their opponent's going to be doing, which is generally a pretty safe assumption. So Medevac now coming out for Drewbie. and for ZeuS as well. So both players going for pretty similar stuff right now, except for the fact that we do see that tank out now for ZeuS, whereas Drewbie is not producing any tanks. He's still continuing to produce Hellions. So Hellions definitely going to be more useful against these Marines. But the tanks, of course, once they get siege mode, are just going to obliterate pretty much everything. So that's a timing that Drewbie's really got to abuse, and it looks like he's starting to move out right now. I don't think siege mode has even started, so tank not going to be nearly as effective as it needs to be. No, siege mode has not been started. We do see an expansion about to be started. ZeuS was saving up right now. Perfect timing for Drewbie to attack. Here comes the units. Marines coming in. This tank without siege mode is just not doing that much damage. The Marines are absolutely decimating everything. Worst timing possible for ZeuS to expand, and he hasn't even canceled at this point to get money to build more units. Just falling really far behind right now. These Marines are wreaking havoc here. Here come the SCVs to try to help. They're going to try to repair these tanks. Looks like the Marines are killing it just too fast, though. They do finish off that tank. They're going to stop that SCV from producing that command center. Just going to try to kite these SCVs, and they're stopping mining time for quite a large amount of time. They do take off that medevac. They are going to take off this other tank if they can get in range. Looks like they're just targeting the SCVs for now, doing so much damage. Such an efficient push right now. Really damaging the opponent. We do see Cloak starting for Drewbie as well, so that is his transition out of this attack. He's already doing so much damage to his opponent that his opponent is going to have to absolutely be forced to use those mules on, the energy on mules. Actually, we do see a scan. I am completely wrong there. How embarrassing. He drops a scan right after I say he's going to have to use his energy on mules. I think that scan was able to see the tech lab. I am not entirely sure on that. See right here, we do see that the scan was able to see the tech lab building on that band, or actually that was just that he saw earlier, so he was not able to see that. But he should know, since he does have that tech lab in vision, that Cloak Banshee should be on the way. But we don't see any kind of detection going up for him right now. We don't see any engineering bay going down for turrets or anything to get any Ravens. But we do see the expansion going down for Drewbie right now. He's just going to use this Banshee to secure himself map control while he harasses his opponent. His opponent will not be able to move out at all while this Banshee's harassing, and he'll be able to expand completely freely. So excellent play by Drewbie right here. Look at the low SCV saturation on his opponent. It's getting even lower from this Banshee, doing tons of damage. 3 kills already on these SCVs. Now he's going to start taking out these Marines. But there is a Viking to defend. Does it have Cloak yet? It does. There's the Cloak. He does have enough vision for enough energy for a scan. There's the scan. Is he going to be able to kill it off? Oh my god, he's not able to kill off the Banshee. It has 12 HP. Wow. Oh, but he does have enough energy. He did save up the scans. Very wise play by ZeuS, but it does look like it's not going to be enough. He's forced to call the GG as all those units from Drewbie just waltz up the ramp. So what we saw there was it was really interesting because Drewbie actually went for the Hellions, and we saw ZeuS go for those tanks. So tanks with Siege would have been fantastic versus Drewbie's build if Siege had finished in time. I don't even know if it would have been able to finish in time. But tanks without Siege, definitely not going to be working against that composition. So the fact that Drewbie went for that early reactor really changed the way that game played out. And I think if ZeuS had actually been the one that went for Hellions, he would have done a lot better, since those Hellions would have had a much easier time dealing with all those Marines.